Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the weekly SAS Hour. Today is our first episode, and we shall be talking about the free tertiary quality education and the tertiary education subsidy. Gracing our affair is the star of Unifast Region 7, the coordinator himself, Mr. Humabon and Maroliano. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you, sir, for being with us today, and welcome to the maiden show of the weekly SAS Hour. Good morning, sir.
Allow me first to share with you in our screen, um, the thing that I would like to discuss. So, uh, I'm assuming that most of the students who are in this orientation doesn't know really yet the full grasp about RA 10931. Okay, so RA 10931, it is otherwise known as the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act of 2017. So when you say RA, it's a Republic Act. When you see it's a Republic Act, it is actually an approved law or aprobado na siya nga mga batas or yeah. So we are so lucky that we have this kind of law because this is actually for all the students. No? Let me reiterate that one later when I say all students. No? So anyway, this is our topic for today. And in the RA 10931, there are four main programs that I would like that we, the Unifast, would like to implement all over the Philippines. So we have the free higher education. So this one. We have first free higher education in SUC and LUC. And then we have the tertiary education subsidy or the so-called the famous TES. So mao ni mga perming yaw-yawon sa mga atong TES grantees. Sir, wa palagi na ang among TES grants kadugay ba ana? But anyway, so and then the third one is the student loan program for tertiary education, or we call that one SLP. And then the fourth main programs under RA 10931 is the free technical vocational education and training, or we call that one free TVET. So for the higher education institutions, ang tulo ra ka programa mao atong i-discuss. But for this morning, I would just like to discuss the first two. The free higher education in SUC and LUC and the tertiary education subsidy. Okay lang? Okay ra mo diha? Okay lang? Ilom kayo da. But anyway, so let me start off immediately with the first program, main program of RA 10931, which is the free higher education in SUC and LUC. Mind you, my dear students, specific kayo ang pagkaingon sa balaod. RA 10931, Program 1, Free Higher Education or FHE in SUC and LUC. Meaning to say, wala i-mention diha ang private HCIs or private higher education institutions. So this is only for the SUC and LUC. Okay, so let me state first this one. What do you mean by SUC? So SUC simply means state universities and colleges. And LUC means local universities and colleges. So if you hear this word, it just simply means state university and local university and colleges. Okay, so let's go straight to the point. So para asa man ni ang free higher education or the FHE? It is only for those students, all Filipino students, mind you, Filipino, not including ang mga foreigners, para lang ni siya sa mga Pinoy. All Filipino students who are either currently enrolled or shall be enrolled at any time thereafter. When I say anytime, mo enroll siya first sem, pwede, or mo enroll siya second sem, pwede, o mo enroll siya summer, okay na siya. So that's what What does it mean? That's that is the reason behind of anytime, the word anytime there. Thereafter, in courses or program leading to a bachelor degree. Okay? Leading to a bachelor degree. Meaning to say, kung dili na siya bachelor degree ang imong gi-enrolled, it's not included in the coverage. Okay? Leading to a bachelor degree in any ISUC and LUC shall be exempted from paying tuition and other school fees for units enrolled in. All right? So, meaning to say, in a simple word, og enroll na ka sa ISUC or LUC, gidawat na ka sa ISUC or LUC, you don't have to pay anything sa school. Okay? And there are some commotion or there's some problem here. Kaya moingon sila, hay, libre na ang pag-eskwela sa kolehiyo ron. Dili libre sa ISUC, ECC, or LUC. Kundili among gibayran ang ISUC or LUC sa inyong pag-eskwela diha. So it's not libre diha sa ISUC or LUC. Meaning to say, gibayran sa gobyerno ang inyong pag-eskwela diha sa ISUC and LUC. So mo na siya ipasabot, no? Okay. So kinsa may atong provider ani? We will be the provider for this particular program under our 18931. So all LUC and CHED recognize LUC. Okay. So ug mo enroll ka og ISUC unya gidawat ka sa tanang issues all over the Philippines, pwede kayo ka. So once you're enrolled and accepted, libre na ka. And then CHED recognize LUC. I just would like to give emphasis on the word recognized LUC. Okay, we still have a lot of LUC or local universities and colleges that they are not yet recognized because those LUCs still have to comply certain requirements that they will be called recognized LUC. So in Region 7, we have actually 11 LUC pa. So in Bohol, we have three LUC. We have the Trinidad Municipal College, we have the Buena Vista Community College, and we have the Talibon Polytechnic College. Okay, so mauna sila ang provider sa free higher education program under R 18921. So who are exemptions to free higher education? Those students who have already obtained a bachelor degree, so di na sila pwede. So students who have failed to comply with the admission or retention policies of the ISUCs and LUCs. So there are students, you have really to read the handbook of the schools, of your school, no? Because naadiha ang mga policies regarding admission and retention policies of your school. And then other exempted for the FHE program, students who fail to complete their bachelor degree within the period prescribed in their chosen program. Let's say, for example, you have taken a Bachelor of Education. And Bachelor of Education is supposed to be a 4-year course or 4-year program. So, kung na-exceed na kaana sa 4-year program, then if you still want to continue on free to finish your program, you will be the one to pay for your tuition and other school fees. The government will no longer pay for you because you are supposed to finish that program within the prescribed period. All right, and then other students na exempted sa free higher education, those students who voluntarily opt out for the free higher education program. Okay, I don't think there are students who choose to opt out, no? libre na, unya move out, pujud ka. No. Anyway, so those are the exemptions. Okay? So what would be the benefits, or what are the benefits if the students would be accepted and enrolled in an ESUC or a CHED recognized LUC? So all students availing themselves of the free higher education provision shall be entitled of, first, free tuition for all courses, subjects, classes enrolled in during a particular semester. Okay? And then free miscellaneous of other school fees and similar or related fees. So practically, if you are already enrolled and accepted in an LUC or issue UC, you don't have to pay for tuitions and you don't have to pay for miscellaneous fees because the Unifas, CHED Unifas, the government will pay for you. Okay? Among bayaran ang inyong eskwelahan. No? Ang State University. In your case, ang BISO or Bohol Island State University. So, I'm done with the free higher education under R8931. So, I think allow me first to continue on with explaining to you the tertiary education subsidy. And after this one, maybe I'm free for any clarifications, or if you have further questions, you may do so. Okay? So we will just continue on so that I can present the most important provision or programs under this R8931, or the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act. Okay? So let's go on, my dear students. Okay, let me discuss with you the R8931 Tertiary Education Subsidy Program. And a lot of our students were really asking, kinsa man jud ang maka-benefit or kinsa man jud ang pwede sa Tertiary Education Subsidy Program or the TES program. Okay. Sa free higher education, I have mentioned a while ago that that particular program is only for students who are enrolled in ESUCs and LUCs, CHED recognized LUCs. The tertiary education subsidy is for everyone. What I mean that those students who are enrolled in SUC, LUC, and private higher education institution can avail for the tertiary education subsidy program under R8921. All right? So what is the purpose and what is the coverage for this particular program? So the purpose of tertiary education subsidy, or TES, is to support the cost of tertiary education of each students or of TES grantees. Okay? So the TES program is established for all Filipino students. Again, I would like to reiterate that it's only for the Filipino students who shall enroll in the first undergraduate program offered in LUCs, ESUCs, and private higher education institution. And it is subject to prioritization and availability of funds. Okay? So my dear students, mind you that you have to understand that when I say all students, there is some sort of a problem here. Inani manggod siya. So every year, our congressmen, our senators, they would give us a certain budget for this particular RA. However, sometimes the budget is not enough for all, for everyone. That is why R8931, Tertiary Education Subsidy under R8931, it is very clear in our rules, our IRR, implementing rules and regulation, that those, the TES would be subject for a prioritization and availability of funds. So meaning to say, murag makaingon ta kabaka kundi ay nimo sir no ingon ka all Filipinos pero di man tanan. Because of that reason, that because the budget is not really enough, that the budget given to us by the congressman and the senator would not be enough. That is why we would put it into a prioritization scheme. Okay? So now allow me to discuss with you the prioritization scheme under this tertiary education subsidy program. So kinsa may jud ang first priority nga maka-avail or matagaan or maka-benefit aning tertiary education subsidy. First are those SGPPA grantees, okay, or the Expanded Students Grants and Aid Program for Poverty Alleviation grantees. Kani siya nga programa before, this is the program of the SWD together with DBM and the CHED. And the HDPP grantees, most of these grantees, they are enrolled in our SUCs only. So, and until now, we still have those grantees, I think, enrolled in different SUCs. And I understand, I hope, I think also, in BISO, we still have a lot of HDPA grantees. So sila ang automatic na makadawat of TES grants, ang atong mga HDPPE grantees. So first priority sila. So don't worry kay murag ang atong HDPE grantees in Region 7 is only mga 80, more than 80 na lang sila. So hopefully by next year, makagraduate na silang tanan. No? Alright, sige. And then the second priority is our ongoing TDP TES grantee. What is a TDP? So ongoing Tulong Donong Program grantees. Inani ni siya before the TDP or the Tulong Tulong Program was under the Commission on Higher Education. And the subsidy, the fund for this particular program was taken from the fund given to us by the congressman of each district. Unfortunately, into this budget, wala na ni siya tagai og budget sa atong gobyerno. So nya luoy man kaayo ni sila og dili na sila makapahumanon. So karon ang gihimo sa CHED Unipas, absorb ni sila nga mga grantees. So mauna nga karon, they are already included in our tertiary education subsidy prioritization scheme. So ikaduha sila nga priority. So kanang mga TDP, ongoing TDP TES grantees. If there are students in your institution or in BISO na ongoing TDP sila, so they are part of this tertiary education subsidy program. Later, ako nang i-discuss kung how much ang subsidy nga ilang makuha. So actually, it's already there. So the third priority for our TES grantees are those students enrolled in private higher institutions situated in municipality or city with no existing SUC or LUC. Students should be a resident of that particular municipality or city. So what do you mean by this one? Let's say for example, example rin niyo siya, taga Ubay ka, no? Sa Ubay Bohol. Sa Ubay Bohol, na usa ka private institution diha. I think that is Northwestern College, something like that. And Ubay Bohol is a municipality with no existing, without the presence of any SUCs and LUC. So swerte kayo ang mga students nga taga Ubay nga mo enrolled into that particular higher or private higher education institution because whether you are poor or not, regardless of your economic status, for as long as taga Ubay ka, unya gidawat ka ng private institution, then you are the third priority. Meaning to say, you can avail for this particular program, tertiary education subsidy. All right? So, mauna siya ang mga prioritization. Ang ikaapat, the fourth priority for the TES. Those belongs to the listahanan of DSWD. Uh-huh. Let me explain further on this particular area. Kay daghan kaayo ang moadto sa school. Ma'am, purpose man ko, naaman ko sa DSWD, nganong wa man ko ma-priority? Ops, let me explain. There is a difference between listahanan and purpose. Okay, what do you mean by listahanan? Listahanan of DSWD, database rani siya. So meaning to say, mauni database sa DSWD all over the Philippines sa mga gitawag nilang indigents, mga pobre, mga listahanan sa mga pobre sa tibuok Pilipinas. Ang kaning purpose is one of the program sa DSWD. Okay, so mauni diferensya sa listahanan og purpose. Okay, I hope it's clear, no? Unya karon ang gihimo sa Unifast is, for the fourth priority, we ask the student to apply to your institution for the TES. And that application particularly is the reason for that we will be able to determine the students enrolled in your SUC who are in the listahanan. So the listahanan would only be the basis of our listahanans would be only from the DSWD central office. So dili na nato makuha ang listahanan from your province, from your barangay, from the regional province, from provincial province, only at the central office. So that is the reason why we ask you to apply for TES, because when you apply, we are going to submit all the applicants to the central office so that maunay among tan-awon kung kani si Juan de la Cruz is really in the listahanan of DSWD. Unya ibalik na sa amo ang approved listahanan from DSWD, and that's the time we can say that Juan de la Cruz, who studied and enrolled in BISO main or in BISO, any BISO campuses, you are one of the listahanan. So maunay atong basis, ha? So when you say listahanan, it's not purpose. Listahanan, it is a database of DSWD, which is that would be the data that our TES grantees are based on. All right? Sige, kumana ko sa prioritization. So what would be the coverage for the tertiary education subsidy? So the coverage would be first, of course, allowance for books, supplies, when you say supplies, educational supplies, transportation, and other miscellaneous personal expenses related to support the students' scholastic expenses. So maunay purpose sa TES, okay? We have to be clear on that. And then allowance for, let's say for example, layo ang inyo sa school. So that would also be used for your room and board costs incurred by the students. So then allowance for expenses related to students' disability. So if you are a PWD, of course you will also be given, and that could the TES subsidy can be used for that particular reason. And then allowance for students in program requiring professional license. It is an allowance that would be given one-time cost only. Okay? So, mauna siya ang purpose or the benefits or the coverage for the TES benefits. So, I hope it's clear, no? So, the TES is not just for the sake of buying a computer or buying an iPhone, no? So, the TES is not for ipalit o ipaayos sa balay. No, it's not the purpose of the TES. So that is solely for your educational support. Okay. So I hope you have it's clear for all of you guys that the government is giving you this particular grants because the government wants you to finish off your studies. Okay. And then I think the most crucial question here is how much? how much should I get if I will be one of the grantees of the TES? It's there actually. So TES grantees enrolled in Issue C or LUC would just receive 40,000 per year. So that is 20,000 per semester. And then private HEIs, you will receive 60,000. And then the next question might be, sir, why is it that issue C and LUC is 40,000 only, in private 60,000? It's not fair. No, it's not fair. Actually, advantageous ang students who are enrolled in issue Cs and LUCs at the same time, TES grantees pa siya. Why? Because your tuitions and other school fees are already free. You don't have to pay anymore for tuitions and other school fees. That is why your TES grants would only be 40,000. Okay? So, and then private institutions, so why is it 60,000? Of course, they still have to pay for their tuition and other school fees. Kunya, ang ilang, so 30,000 per semester. And so, let's say for example, ang ilang bayaran sa tuition is 30,000. So, wala sila pangkuan, allowance, no? So, mauna na you students from issues and LUCs, you are still in that advantageous side because the 40,000 that you get is already the lump sum. No, 40,000, wa na siya kuhaon. Imuha na ng tanan, kay libre na baya ang imong tuition and other school fees. Whereas in the private institution, they still have to pay for their tuition and other school fees. And then I have mentioned that students requiring professional license na TES grantee sila. By the way, not all FHE or students in issue C. What I'm referring here, only those who were able to get the tertiary education subsidy grants will be given. Those who are enrolled in those who would still take professional licenses would be given a one-time 10,000K maximum only. No, katong ni graduate na unya mo take sila board exam, Unifast would give you another plus 10,000 for your preparation for your licensure exam. Okay, what if you are a PWD? So how much should you get? Wait, I forgot. How much should you get? And then if you are a TES grantees, and then if you study in an issue or LUC, and then you're a PWD, you still get plus 30,000 for 1 year. So if you have 40,000, then you are a PWD. So practically you will receive 70,000 per annum or per year. Okay. Same through with our PWD who studied or enrolled in private institution. 60,000 plus 30,000, 90,000 ang iyang makuha. Okay, so now what about the ongoing TDP-TES grantees? Ala, ang ilang makuha is only 12,000. That is 6,000 per semester lang. And why is it so? Nganong gamay man kaayo? Remember, as I have mentioned, nga kaning TDP-TES grantees na to, murag i-absorb lang ni sila sa Unipass because wala na sila ang mga congressmen nato karon nga naay mga TDP grantees, wala na sila fund to support their constituents. So mauna nga amo lang gi-continue ang ilang subsidy according to what they received before. So mauna siya. Okay. So I think I'm done.
Thank you, sir, for that. And we are now on part 2 of our episode 1, the question and answer portion. So, sir, just a point of clarification, because there are students who happen to be congressional district scholars. They're receiving around 6,000 to 7,500 pesos. And that in the latest list, but they have not received yet, of course, they are part of the TES, which is 20,000 pesos per semester. So how are we going to reconcile that matter, sir?
As I have mentioned, that the ongoing TDP. It's entitled ongoing because there were actually uh, previously in the list of our TDP. And unfortunately, uh, academic year 1920, I mean 2019 and 2020, that would be the last year that our most of our congressmen have a fund for the Tolong Donong grantees. New guidelines given to us by the DBM, approved by CHED, and of course together with UNIFAS, that those ongoing TDP grantees who are now TES, under TES, would only receive 12,000. So actually that is only in the guidelines. And I think the reason why we include this one, this ongoing TDP grantees, because, just to be fair with them, because they had already been given some sort of, not very big allowance or scholarship from the congressman or from CHED, uh, from CHED through the congressman's fund. So we cannot just leave them, I mean, like that, no? So that is the reason why nga ato gisaw sa Unipass kaning nga mga grantees.
Thank you, sir. In your discussion, you mentioned that the TDP or the congressional grantees will now be part of the TES. Am I right, sir, that even though they do belong to TES, they will still receive 6,000 or 7,500 and not 20,000 pesos? Am I right, sir?
They are now, as ongoing TDP TES, following our guidelines, they will only receive 6,000 per semester. Before that next question, I just would like to inform those who are TDP grantees before. If you are a TES, you only have to choose one. Definitely, you would choose the TES because that is 40,000. No, so we cannot give you both. So you cannot be a TES grantee, the usual TES, the listahanan, or the tulong donong TES. So you have.
What is good about this program, sir, is once they are already part of the TES or the TDP TES, they will enjoy it until they finish their schooling.
We need to have, let's say, we need to have some sort of application, yearly application. Why? Because for us to determine whether this particular students still enrolled.
What is good about this year, sir, we automatically registered all our enrolled students to our TES portal.
It's also good the system that the school would just upload all the students to the portal. That's much better because for us to really determine whether this particular student were already graduated or not enrolled or they are no longer in.
Based on my experience, there are parents who are coming to the office and asking, why is it that their kids are not part of the TES when they are part of the 4Ps? Can you please shed light on that matter, sir? What's the difference between the listahanan and the 4Ps? And basically, questions are boiling down to who are selecting the grantees of the TES. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so as I have mentioned a while ago, that in our prioritization, in fact, that's the fourth priority, students from the listahanan. So that's the reason why we ask the schools to ask the students to apply so that their names would be uploaded to our portal. And once it is uploaded to the portal, we are going to send those applied or those students who are in the portal to the to DSWD central office. And it's the central office DSWD who would determine whether these students are really in the listahanan, are really in their priority number, in their those who are eligible for the TES. So actually, it's the central DSWD central office who would give us the list of their listahanan names to us. And that's the time that, oh, okay, Juan de la Cruz, who enrolled in Baiso, Maine, he is one of the TES, he is one of the priority listahanan. And that's the time we would say, okay, ma'am, this is the list, and tell them that they are our priority number 4, and they will be given that privilege to be TES grantees. So it's not us here at the regional level, not even our CHED at the central office, not even our UNIPAS at the central office. It's from the DSWD central office who would determine whether this particular names will be included in our TES grantees. And I have already discussed with you what's the difference between the purpose and the listahanan. The listahanan actually is a database of the SWD. And the purpose is one of the program of the SWD. And then, since it is a program, of course, na sila gitawag nato nga priority list as well. Nga gikan sa na nila gikuha nga to sa listahanan. Okay, so nalibog manggod ang atong mga students, even the parents of our students. Sabi nila, when you say purpose na ka-automatic, no. It would always depend on kung sa to'y gihatag sa central office, DSWD central office, nga naa sa ilang database. Nga gitawag na nato og list.
Thank you so much for that, sir. And two of the benefits that our TES grantees are entitled to, like if they happen to be PWD, so they can avail of the 30,000 per year. And if they also are applying for licensure examination, they're also entitled to 10,000 pesos. Now, sir, what are the documents that they need to prepare, and to what office are they going to acquire all of those, and to where are they going to submit? Thank you, sir.
Okay, so actually, ma'am, what would be their evidence is the ID given to them by the SWD again. No? So they should get that PWD ID from the SWD. Okay? Only from the SWD. Huh? And then they are going to bring that to their school, I mean to their TES focal. For this particular year, we really have to make sure na all our institutions, all HEI, SUCS, LUC, or private institution, when we ask for enrollment, they should specify in the portal that this particular student is a PWD, so that they will get their benefits together with their TES. I mean, the usual TES grants, so that they can use that money actually for any purpose to support their being a PWD. If they want to buy a wheelchair, so they can buy a wheelchair. If they want to use it for some sort of a transportation, you can use that. They can use that one. So we will give them that benefits, that grants, until such time they would graduate from their program. Just to be clear, that only those who are TES grantees, TES grantees, will benefit on this particular provisions. And only those students who enrolled in a program, board course program. If your program is not a board course, of course, definitely, it's not for you. So only those students who enrolled in a board course program who could benefit on this 10,000 maximum in preparation for their professional licensure, in preparation for their board exams. When you say preparation, let's say, for example, you pay for transportation, when you go for review, etc. But mind you, it's only 10,000K maximum. Even the government is actually really helping you out on this one. So from the beginning until the end, sa imong programa. So we have to be grateful on this one.
Sir, thank you for that. And what if a student has to stop for some valid reasons? Can she still go on with her TES grant when she'll be back the following year?
Yes. Once you are a TES grantees, you will be a grantees until such time you finish your program. So meaning to say, if you stop this semester, of course, we will not give you the grants. Why? Because you're not enrolled. However, when you go back and enrolled again, we still have to verify whether you're really enrolled. And that's the time we can continue on with your TES grants. Why? Because you are already in our database. It's easy for us to determine Juan de la Cruz, first year, and then second year, first semester, was siya mo enroll. Of course, the school would say, not enrolled. So we will just put not enrolled. And then next semester, let's say next semester, we will have another verification. And then Juan de la Cruz enrolled in the second semester, and then that's the time we will give you your grants. Because the thing is, no enrollment, no grants. Okay, so that's the thing.
Thank you, sir. So the government is so kind in allowing 1 year extension if you cannot make it to your target date to finish your schooling. Is this also true with DES?
Here's the point. For us, Unipass, yes. But you have to look at the admission and retention policy of each institution. Let's say, for example, BISA would say na, oops, mo fail gani ka o, let's say, 3 subjects, you will be kicked out from the institution. So that's the problem there. For us, we don't have problem because as long as you are in the poder of the institution, we are obliged to pay. For as long as the program is still at napa siya sa a time span, we still obliged to pay. But now you have to read your admission and retention policy, their students. If the school would say, no, so if you fail for this one, we will not give you any more any chance. Then we cannot do because that is.
Just in case, sir, I am enrolled in a course, for example, and after 2 years, I decided to transfer to another course. So what will happen to my free tuition or free miscellaneous? Is there a point in time that I will be made to pay on my own? Or am I allowed to hop from one course to another?
For for that particular is the first program that you enrolled.
Oh,
So meaning to say, education is 4 years, engineering is 6 years. So practically, 5 years lang imuha. So therefore, kung engineering ka, there's still a last year that Unipass or the government would not pay you anymore because you already consume the agreed span of that particular first program that you enrolled, mentioned in your as TS grants. My dear students, you have to keep in mind this one, that once you enroll, make sure that that's the right program for you.
thank you, sir, for patiently and elaborately answering to all my questions. So we are learning so much from you, and on behalf of the students and the whole Bohol Island State University family, I thank you. And I think there is a question in the chat box that maybe you would like to answer, sir. Thank you.
We would like to ask if katong mga students nga na-appeal sa list last year is matagaan pa ba to karon? That would always depend, Ma'am Shimineth, if they applied and they are in our portal because we still have to verify. No? If grantees na sila last year, that is already some 99% na matagaan sila. But if they are no longer enrolled, or perhaps they are not included in our portal, I'm afraid they will not be given because we are only basing our giving of grantees for those who are in our portal and verified TS.
I believe, sir, the question of Shiminit has to do with the list that was released last year by CHED. And suddenly there was a change, and there were, I think, some of them who are displaced. And I think that is the point of her question, sir.
Minute now. So we are already forwarded to your school kadtong mga na-appeal ra. Okay? So naay wala ma-appeal. Okay? Kadtong wala ma-appeal, so I'm very sad to say nga di na doon sila ma-appeal. Inani man gud ang nahitabo. So last year adunay mga new applicants. Unfortunately, inani nahitabo, there are 100,000 applicants and then na-verified sila, and then there was a mistake from the central office that they said that all of them will be included. However, when they check the fund would only good for 60,000 students, grantees. So karon gi-prioritize katong first 60,000. So definitely, karon I don't have the list right now with me kung pila ang na-appeal diha sa inyong schools. So all you have to do now is you ask your focal person whether you are included. If you are not included, sorry to say, I cannot give you an assurance that you will not be given a grants for last year. However, good news is this year we have about 60 billion budget for our TES and FHE. So dako ang atong budget karon. But it's not yet as well an assurance that you will be included. The thing is, I hope you still applied for TES. I hope that your focal person uploaded your name to our portal, because that's the time what we still have to verify whether you are included. Okay, my dear students, if you want to know whether you are accepted or not, let's just wait, because at this moment of time, we are still verifying. So, however, I question nga rin, what about the freshmen? So, I hope you were guided by your focal person, TS focal person. And then as mentioned by Ma'am Arceli, that daghan pa ang wala ma-appeal because, you know, the time for application was really very short. And then I mentioned to her that it's just a matter of really writing a letter asking our regional director if we could still extend the application for TES. And I think the regional office would really listen to us. So it's just a matter, Ma'am Arceli, to write letters so that we can really extend for another application time frame.
Thank you so much, Sir Humabon, for your time and for your expertise. We truly appreciate. I know we will never run out of questions, but I believe you can still be within our reach because you have proven that since time that we met. So please also extend our heartfelt gratitude to our very kind and very good Regional Director, Dr. Maximo Alhibi, for his support to BISU. We truly appreciate. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And to you, my dear students, maybe you are not a TES grantee, but it doesn't matter. What is important is you are already scholar ng bayan, enjoying free quality higher education in Bohol Island State University. That is already something to rejoice about because many would have wanted to come, but you know, you are chosen. So therefore, since much is given to you, much is required of you. So we have so much hope in you, my dear students. So every day, bear it in mind that you really are going to be very good. Study harder, even in this time of pandemic. And you know, we would like to see a difference in your family, in the society, and of course, in this world with you. So it is our prayer that you and I will journey together and let's just do our best. And thank you for joining with me today. This is our maiden episode and hope to see you in our next episodes as we would like to deliver information to you. So let's journey together. This is our way of living in this new normal. So may God bless us all. Bye bye for now. God bless.